Hello and welcome to the Leveling Up podcast with me, George Swift from Bigger, Brighter, Bolder. I'm also the founder of BBB Success Groups for ambitious entrepreneurs and extreme growth masterminds. The Leveling Up podcast is here to give you the personal development, the entrepreneurial development, and the business growth that you, the ambitious business owner, desires. We're here to give you the inspiration, the motivation, and to challenge your aspirations to take you and your business to the next level. Tune in every Monday and Wednesday for mindset, attitude, personal performance, and business growth content. And every Friday when we do our Friday 5-minute fix. Subscribe to this podcast and never miss an episode. Okay, so today it is our Friday 5-minute fix, and it's a reflection session. It's a reflection episode based on the interview that I shared this week with Rob Goddard, the founder of Evolution Complete Business Sales. I took that interview that I did recently with Rob over in Dubai. It forms the episodes for Monday and Wednesday this week. If you're an ambitious business owner and you want to know what's it going to take to go from absolutely nothing to multiple 7 figures in revenue, then you definitely will want to make sure you go back and catch up on those episodes. Today, what I wanted to do was really reflect on one particular part of this interview, and at the time, it really inspired me. And listening back this week to the interview myself, I've really sort of taken on board this one particular part of the interview that has really kind of, again, inspired me with the grit and the determination of what it takes to succeed. Now, Rob is an inspirational guy. He's a very talented businessman. But in those episodes, he talks about what it really took him and what he had to go through to get to where he is today. He's also the author of the book From Suicide to Success, and that's a rags to riches tale. And again, an inspirational read. I'll put the link to that book in the comments section below, the description below. But what I wanted to reflect on was one particular part, and I'd be interested to know whether this stood out for you as well if you have already listened to those episodes. And it was when he turned up in Dubai and he literally had no list at all. So he turned up thinking he was going to get some sort of support, some sort of infrastructure. He turns up there and literally he is in a new country, in a new land, a new culture, and he's on his own, literally on his own. And he has to kind of try and build this business from literally nothing. And if you've listened to it, then it won't matter that I'm going to share it again. If you haven't listened to it, a little bit of a spoiler alert. However, there's so much content in those episodes, I don't think it matters. It's when he went out and generated from scratch his sales list. Now, here we go. We live in a world post-GDPR. So, of course, what Rob is describing in that interview is not applicable to today. However, the heart, the grit, the determination, the entrepreneurism, the creativity, the problem solving is absolutely relevant to every single one of us. What Rob did when he went there was he started to generate a list. He went to one place and he managed to get a starter list, okay, just a handful of names, and he took that list to the next level up and he traded that list for their list. He then took that list and traded up. And this is how Rob created a sales target list from absolutely nothing, from ground zero. Now, as I say, it's not something you're going to be able to do right now, post GDPR, etc. However, it's really resourceful to go in there, and when you could have given up and you could have been forgiven for like, well, there's no clients, I've got no one to call, I've got no one to sell to, he could have got away with that. But instead of that, he made it work for him. And of course, if you listen to that interview, you can see obviously how it massively paid off. And obviously, he's a very successful guy today. The bit I wanted to take was, number one, the resourcefulness of that, the creativity, the cleverness, right, of approaching it that way. But here's the big one, because I hear this so often from small business owners when we talk about sales, and I push the sales agenda really heavily in success groups and extreme growth masterminds. We have 2 28-day sales challenges where everybody commits to doing sales every single day, including bank holidays if they happen to fall in that period, including Saturdays and Sundays, to break some really bad habits that a lot of small business owners have of not doing sales. And I hear all the excuses. I've heard people telling me, I don't know where to go. I've got no one to call. I don't know where my client is, etc. And then I'm mindful of Rob's story in a new country, a new land with no contacts, no list at all, and how very quickly and very rapidly he generated a really impressive list of prospects, and that launched obviously his amazing career. So if you are a small business owner, here's your Friday 5-minute fix. Here's a little bit of a kick up the arse. If Rob can generate a powerful list in a new country, new culture from absolutely nothing, then you, given your background, your history, the length of time that you've probably been operating in this country, the connections that you already have, really, we don't have any excuses. Fundamentally, sales is what is going to grow your business. When we're looking at extreme growth, at the heart of that extreme growth has got to sit sales. This is why I push it so heavily. However, for most business owners, it's not sales skills they need. It's the mindset, it's the attitude, it's the confidence in themselves. It's the perception shift that they might need to have in order to fully commit to sales. Many business owners, they set their business up to do what it is that they do, to help businesses, to support businesses, to deliver great service, deliver great product. However, very quickly they realize that they got themselves a seat at the sales table, and many small business owners shy away from that. They find it very uncomfortable, maybe awkward. And here's my message. You've got to get over yourself. Sales is an absolute essential part of your business. When you grow your business like Rob has to the scale that he has, yes, you can outsource sales, and he's got incredible salespeople now. He was the number one salesperson in that business right up until recently, okay? He was doing well over 7 figures before he really could afford to get the talented salespeople in that he needed to. So the message is loud and clear. You need to do your own sales. Nobody cares about your business the way you do. Nobody knows or understands your business the way you do. Nobody has the heart that you have for doing what it is that you do. You're the best person for doing the sales in your business. But I understand it. I get it. It's challenging. It's difficult emotionally more than technically. You can learn to sell quite easily. You just go and talk to people about your product and you find out what need they have, what pain they have, and you do what you do best, which is you provide a great service and solve that pain for the right people. However, so many people, so many entrepreneurs hide from sales, and I just wanted to give you a big kind of push going into next week. Put sales at the forefront of your business. If you think you've got problems and struggles in not knowing where to start, then just reflect back on Rob's story. Going over to Dubai, no contacts, no list, no support structure, ground zero, absolutely nothing there. And he built a very powerful network over there in Dubai. And he still, to this day, does business over in Dubai. And as I said before, the interview we had was over in Dubai. Okay, no excuses. If you haven't listened to those episodes, go back and listen to the interview with Rob Goddard. But you have no excuses whatsoever. Get sales at the forefront of your business. That is how you're going to level up your business, how you're going to get that extreme business growth. If you do put sales absolutely at the front of your business, you will be successful. Okay, have an awesome weekend. I will see you next week. If you are an ambitious business owner and you've already broken 100K, and you've been inspired by Rob's story, go and check out what we're doing at our Extreme Growth Masterminds. You can also email Tracey.Miller. I'll put her email address in the description below. If for whatever reason you haven't yet quite hit 100K and you want to know what's it going to take to hit 100K or more in the next 12 months or less, then go and listen to a webinar that I've created specifically with the 5-figure service-based business in mind. It's the 6-figure fast track. How to take your service-based business from 5 figures to 100K or more in revenue in the next 12 months or less. It's biggerbrighterbolder.co.uk/fast track. Again, I'll put the link in the description of this podcast. Okay, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Have an awesome weekend. I'll see you on Monday. And until then, as always, be successful.